Hey guys, so this week we're going to be taking a look at budget tech bags. And the bag we're going to be taking a look at is the Lapacker Tigernu business backpack. So you may be wondering why I say Lapacker Tigernu. And one thing about these bags is that when you look the bag up on Amazon, and I'll place the link down below so you can take a look, the bag says Lapacker. However, when you actually get the bag and you're taking a look around, the branding on it says Tigernu in a lot of places. So I feel like they're probably two companies under the same parent company. But so I was a little bit confused by that. So if you see that in the title, or if I switch back and forth throughout the video on calling it Tigernu or Lapacker, just know that I am talking about the same bag. And in the past we have reviewed a bag from Lapacker on the channel. We reviewed one of their budget tech bags a while back, and that was a great bag. So I was actually really excited when Lapacker reached out to me and asked if I would review another one of their bags on the channel. So they were kind enough to send over the business backpack for me to check out. And based off my positive experience with the previous bag that I had tried from them, I was really excited. I really loved the look of this bag. So far, as I've been testing it out, I've been really impressed with everything the bag has to offer. It's just a really good, kind of minimalist and very professional looking tech bag that is great to take with you into the office. It looks really professional, it's really slim, and it fits in a variety of environments. And it seems to be made out of a really nice material. So I'm really excited to share this bag with you guys. I've been really impressed with it so far. And I definitely want to thank the company for sending this over for me to test out. So let's just go ahead and jump in and take a closer look at the Lapacker Business Backpack. So just starting out with the overall aesthetic of the bag, I really like the look of this. It has a really professional look. It's very slim. I really like kind of this dark gray, blackish type color. We reviewed another tech bag from Lapacker in the past, and I'll make sure to include a link to that review down below in the description. And this bag has a similar aesthetic to that bag, similar size. They both had kind of this nice gray look, really kind of sturdy zippers. It had a nice water resistant fabric on the outside, and just, very kind of clean, minimal and slim look. So overall, really like the aesthetic. I think it really fits in well in a variety of environments. I could definitely see myself wearing this to and from work. Reminds me a little bit almost of the Timbuk2 Q backpack, or even something like the Division pack from Timbuk2. And so just really versatile bag as far as the look. And I really love how slim it is. As you can see here in the footage, this is about as full as it can get. So it's not a big bag by any means. It doesn't pop out quite a bit. So, in that sense, you can see there's no compression straps or anything, because it really just doesn't get thick enough to warrant anything like that. But the bag, even though it's slim, it can hold plenty of stuff. As we'll see later in the video, what I've done is included all the same items that I've used in most of my daily carry videos, and the same items that I used for the previous Lapacker video that I did. Starting off with the compartments on the outside, of course, it has the water bottle pocket, so big fan of that. The bag actually has one on each side, and as you can see here, I have the same water bottle that I've used in all my previous video, and it fits very comfortably. I wouldn't think that anything too much thicker than this could actually fit in this pocket. It stretches out a little bit, so something slightly thicker, this is about 0.6 liters. So maybe something up to a liter or 0.75 liters could probably fit okay. These pockets would also be good for something like an umbrella or a tripod. And a really neat feature that I love when bags include this is that it gives you the option to zip it up, so that if you're not going to be using these pockets, you can zip them up to prevent them from snagging on anything or from just kind of ruining the clean aesthetic of the bag. So I really love when the bags kind of think about that and give you the flexibility to just kind of put them away if you're not going to use them. So really nicely implemented, and as I mentioned, it's kind of the same exact design on both sides of the backpack, so that if you want to carry a water bottle and an umbrella in there, you have the flexibility to do so. And they both have that zipper mechanism to help keep them up and close against the bag if you're not going to be using them. So really nice implementation there. The bag includes a nice padded handle, very comfortable. So if you want to pick this bag up, or if you need to hang it from somewhere, this feels like it's going to hold up pretty well, and it's just pretty comfortable to hold. So if you're just walking through the airport and you don't want to wear it on your back, this is pretty nice. As far as the aesthetic, one thing that is pretty different from the Lapacker bag we reviewed in the past is the bottom. So that the previous backpack we looked at had kind of these rubber kind of protective tracks on the bottom to help keep the bag protected if you put it down on the ground. So just kind of to prevent abrasion or prevent it from tearing, anything like that. So it would have been nice to maybe see that on this backpack as well. But I do think that did take a little bit away from the professional look. So you have a little bit of a trade-off there. So I do think this bag, ends up looking a little bit cleaner and more professional by removing those protective rubber pads on the bottom. But you do lose a little bit of durability on the bag. So just something to keep in mind. A big focus of this backpack seems to be a lot of the anti-theft features that have been included to help keep your items safer. So the zippers on the website, if you look, they have pictures of people trying to kind of poke through this with a pen or a knife. I haven't tested that out, so I don't know how effective or ineffective that is, but it is a feature that the bag supposedly has. And hopefully you don't get into a situation where it gets put to the test, but it's nice that that it is something that the company is thinking about. On top of the kind of protective zippers that it offers, it also has 2 lockable zippers. So the main compartment of the bag and the laptop compartment are actually lockable to help keep your items just a little bit safer. So it's always nice to have kind of that extra security if you're traveling, abroad and you're going to be in a lot of areas that you don't know, or you just have a lot of sensitive electronics with you. It's just nice to have that extra deterrent. As far as the straps in the back panel, this is one of my favorite parts about the bag. I feel like it's really, really comfortable to wear. I love the straps themselves. They're pretty wide. This isn't a big bag, so it's never going to get that heavy. So these straps are just the right width. It doesn't have a sternum strap or anything like that. Again, since the bag isn't that big and it won't get that heavy, I don't think that that's a big deal, but some people really like their sternum straps, so just wanted to call that out. On the strap, it just kind of has these elastic bands that I guess you could probably use to hang your sunglasses or something like that. But overall, the look is kept pretty minimal and clean. The straps themselves are very padded. This padding is really soft. It comes up it comes up quite a bit, so it really feels like comfortable as you're wearing it. The straps even have padding here along the part of the bag that sits on your neck and shoulders, so that they've really focused on making this a really comfortable bag, and it feels really nice to wear. Continuing on with the padding on the back, this padding is really comfortable. It's super elevated. So if you've watched a lot of my other videos, you'll typically hear me complain when a bag doesn't have a lot of elevation, just because a lot of moisture can build up on your back and there's not a lot of room for airflow. So that's something that this bag does not have a problem with. The back paneling here is super comfortable. It's very soft, but it's also very elevated. So you have plenty of room here for air to flow through and help keep your back just a little bit drier as you're walking around the city. The padding here on the bottom is also very comfortable on your lower back. And you'll notice that it comes out a little bit more, and that's because the bag actually has kind of a secret compartment here that you can use for delicate items. So just continuing on with the security theme of the bag, this pocket here is nice and hidden. It's not very easy to get to. It sits on your back. So the pocket opens up here, and because it does sit on your lower back, you wouldn't want to put anything too thick in here just because it would be uncomfortable to wear for a long period of time with something bulkier. But it is a great place to put maybe your passport or wallet or maybe just some extra cash, something that you want to keep extra safe as you're walking around the city. As this is laying on your back, nobody's going to be able to get to it, and it doesn't take away from the comfort as long as it's a thin item. So just really nicely implemented pocket, and it's just nice to have kind of those extra security features. Continuing on with this bag's focus on security, the laptop compartment has a few different features that help keep things a little bit safer. The first is that the laptop compartment is actually lockable, as we had mentioned a little bit earlier in the video. Here you can see it a little bit more closely. I just have a simple cable lock here to just kind of showcase how the locking mechanism works. So as you can see, the zipper portion of the backpack latches onto this kind of little plastic loop here, just to give it a little bit more protection. The loop itself is pretty flimsy. It looks to be made out of plastic, and it's attached to kind of this fabric here, which could probably cut with a knife. So it's not super secure. However, it is a nice deterrent. In addition to the lock, the zipper to access the laptop compartment is actually housed underneath the strap. So this is really interesting. I hadn't seen this on a backpack before. So if you are wearing this backpack, it's impossible to open the laptop compartment fully because the straps are actually in the way. So that's another nice kind of security feature that the bag offers for what will likely be the most expensive item in your backpack at any given time. The interesting thing about this is that in order to get your laptop out, when you put the bag down, you will typically have to move the straps back so that you can open the laptop compartment up. On a day-to-day basis, that might get slightly annoying. It just takes a little bit of extra work to get your laptop out of your backpack. And you won't be able to get your laptop out while you're still wearing the backpack or anything like that. So just going through TSA, it might take that an extra second to get the laptop out. Or if you're going into work every day, this might get cumbersome to deal with a little bit, but once you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal, and it is nice to have a little bit of extra protection for this compartment. So this backpack is meant to hold up to a 14-inch laptop. Currently, as you can see here, this is pretty deep. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro, the Retina version, and as you can see, there's plenty of leftover space. This could easily hold a 15-inch laptop, I think. Maybe not a 17-inch. There is a bigger version of this backpack that's meant to hold a 17-inch laptop, so I would definitely recommend checking that out if you have a bigger laptop. But it's nice how much space is in here and how padded the pocket feels. not only does the back padding help to add a lot of support and rigidity to the pocket, but the pocket itself seems pretty padded. It really feels like it's going to help keep your laptop safe. The bag does seem to have some padding on the bottom to help keep your laptop protected from the ground, but I don't know if it's actually elevated or if there's just a little bit of kind of padding to help add a little bit of shock protection or anything like that. And so the pocket does seem to do a good job of keeping your laptop protected and fitting a wide variety of devices. The only thing is I do kind of wish that it had some of that soft felt lining on it to help protect against scratches. So this is just kind of a regular polyester type material, so it doesn't offer a lot in the way of scratch protection, but it's still very padded. It's definitely going to help keep your laptop secure, and with all the other security features that this pocket has, it really gives you the confidence that you can walk around the city with some peace of mind. On the front, there's a quick access pocket with a nice big vertical zipper. This makes this a really good pocket for something like a notebook, maybe a Moleskine. In this case here, I have my tablet. I have my iPad mini too, so as you can see, that fits in here really nicely. This is about the biggest thing that I would probably fit in here. A Kindle or a smaller tablet or a notebook are great. This pocket is pretty slim. If you were to fill this out with something bulky, it would probably show a lot on the front of the bag, so it might kind of ruin the clean aesthetic. So this is a really good pocket for kind of slim or smaller items, maybe some headphones and things like that. But it's nice because it's just really easy to just reach down, zip it open, grab something. So it's very quick access, and this is the type of pocket that you can even access while you're still wearing the backpack. So it's just really nice to have something quick like this on the front. The next pocket is just kind of this bag's main organizational compartment for smaller accessories. And so this pocket has some internal organization, some slip pockets and a few different ways to keep everything organized. So just going through this, the first thing I have here is my BagSmart cable organizer. The pocket itself is pretty deep. As you can see, my hand can kind of go all the way down to the bottom. The pocket opens about 3/4. It doesn't quite lay flat, and it's not just a top-loading compartment. It's kind of a strange little hybrid here, but it's nice because it allows you to open it pretty wide, but without having to worry that your stuff is going to spill out. So I really like this design. And as I mentioned, the bag itself has a few slip pockets here. So in one of the slip pockets, I just have my Ray-Ban sunglasses. And this pocket is pretty big. As you can see here, I can almost fit my hand. All my fingers in there fit pretty nicely. And this would be a great spot to put maybe a portable hard drive or a larger external battery to help keep your devices charged. So just a nice flexible pocket to help keep things organized. As I mentioned, the bag also offers 2 slots for pens or a stylus or something like that. So in here, I just have a regular pen. And then there's one additional slip pocket here. So in this pocket, I currently just have my retractable HDMI cable. But this is another good pocket for putting something like a portable battery, something that's not too bulky or big. This is smaller than the other compartment. Than the other slip pocket. They're not exactly the same size. So the bigger items would definitely go in the first one we showed, and this one is just for kind of more slimmer items like USB sticks. And as you saw, my retractable HDMI cable fit in there very nicely. So overall, it's nice to have a variety of different pockets to help everything have its own place and to just kind of accommodate for a lot of different size items. So really nicely implemented. The last pocket we're going to take a look at is the main compartment. This is kind of the main area where you would store your bigger items, and it also has some internal organizational pockets as well. So we'll take a closer look at those. The bag itself is a top loader, so it doesn't open too far wide, but it does open wide enough to allow you to really see to the bottom of the bag. The bag itself is pretty deep, so as with a lot of top loaders, if you have some smaller items that sneak off to the bottom, it can be a little bit tricky to kind of dig around and get exactly what you need to do. But because the bag opens pretty wide, you can still typically see everything that you need to and pretty much reach in and grab without too much problems. And so as I had mentioned earlier, in here I just have all the same items that I've used in all my other daily carry videos. So for starting off, as you can see, I have my Beats Solo Wireless 2. I have a Moleskine notebook. I have my in-case accessory organizer. Here I just have my bulkier items, my mouse, and just a few big power bricks and things that don't really fit in a lot of the slip pockets. And then something I've started carrying with me recently is this kind of portable Bluetooth speaker, especially when I'm working at offices that aren't my normal one and I need a speaker to take conference calls or just to listen to some music. And then the last kind of big item that I have in here is my Levitate portable standing desk. I did a review for this in the past, and this has definitely become my absolute favorite thing to carry with me on a day-to-day whenever I'm going to be working. On the back part of the main compartment, there are a few different slip pockets to provide a little bit of organization for this kind of bigger area. And one thing that Lapacker has tried to do here is just give kind of like these small pictures to indicate what type of items you might be able to put in each of the pockets. So, you can use them for whatever you want, but I think it's kind of nice that they, try to give you a hint as to what you might want to use each pocket for. Because sometimes, when you have a lot of pockets, it can get overwhelming and you're like, what do I put in each one? So, they kind of give a little bit of a hint of what their thought process was for what each pocket's purpose would be. So that's pretty nice. So this first one here is kind of a just larger slip pocket. It seems that the company meant for this to be kind of a tablet compartment, so you could put your iPad or your Kindle in here, or maybe a folder for some papers. I, as you saw earlier in the video, put my iPad on the front compartment of the bag. That's typically something I access very often during the day, so I like to keep it in the quick access compartment. And another factor here is that this pocket is not padded. It's just kind of a piece of polyester here that adds a little bit of organization, but doesn't really protect anything that's in this pocket very much. So even though it's meant for a tablet, it's not padded, or it doesn't offer any specific feature that would make it good for a tablet. It's just that's what would happen to fit here. Moving on to the next slip pocket here, it has a little battery icon here. It's probably meant to hold a smaller portable charger, which is actually what I have in here. I just have an external battery that I carry with me on a day-to-day basis in case I'm running low on power for my devices. And so that's a pretty deep slip pocket. I can fit almost my whole hand in there. Another great spot to put a hard drive or a bigger portable battery, or maybe even a mouse. On the other side, there's a little picture of a smartphone. So this slip pocket I think was meant to be for a thinner smartphone. What I've actually done here is put my Magic Mouse, so that fits really nicely in there. The two pockets themselves are almost identical in size, so even though they have pictures for different items, you can definitely flip-flop whatever you put in here because they're very close in size. So both are going to be good for mice, for if you do want to put your phone in there, for portable batteries, hard drives. So it's just really nice that you have the versatility to use them however you want, or you can just ignore them if you don't want to if you just want to keep everything in pouches, as I like to do. They just kind of lay back flat against the bag, and they don't take up any space. And the last pocket here at the top is a small kind of zippered compartment. And so according to the picture that the bag included here, this might be good for a small notebook or for just a reading book or something like that. I personally just used it to put my lightning cable for my phone. Since I had filled the bag up with so much other stuff, at this point, putting anything bulky in here was starting to make the bag really tight. So I just chose to put something small in there like my cable. The pocket itself isn't that deep. It goes to about halfway down on this main compartment, so you wouldn't be able to put a big book in there or anything too long. But it is nice that you just have that zipper pocket. So if you have smaller things that you don't want floating around, and that if you flip your bag over, you don't want them to fall out of that pocket, the zippered compartment would be a great spot to keep them and just help keep everything in its place. So overall, I was really impressed with this backpack. I really love a lot of the bags that Lapacker and Tigernu are putting out. They have like really budget conscious backpacks that are great price, really good quality, and they offer a lot of features for the price point that they're at. So, just like with the previous bag that we had reviewed on the channel, I really loved a lot of the different features that this had to offer. I loved the style and the look in particular. And I really feel that for the price, it's actually a really great value bag. So at the moment, you can find this bag on Amazon for about $35. So that's right in line with the Lapacker bag that we had reviewed in the past. They're both kind of in that same range. To me, this is a similar bag to something like the Timbuktu Q bag or the Incase Icon Slim, just really kind of tech focused, a lot of compartments, a lot of organization for your electronics, along with kind of a more sleek and professional business aesthetic. And so this bag aligns nicely with those. It's just a little bit cheaper at that $35 price point. And so once again, I want to thank Lapacker for sending the bag over for me to test out on the channel and share it with you guys. I've really been impressed with many of the bags that I've seen from them so far. So as I mentioned, I will include the link for this bag down below. You can purchase it on Amazon if you want to check it out. And they have a ton of other bags that are kind of similar to this in aesthetic, just slightly different styles and also different capacities. For example, this is a 14-inch bag, so the focus for this is to allow you to carry a 14-inch laptop, but they do have a 17-inch version if you have a larger laptop or if you need just a little bit more space. So you can just kind of look around Amazon at the different bags that these brands have to offer. And I have to say that, based off the two that I've seen so far, they seem to be a pretty good quality, and they all seem to be very similar as far as price point and aesthetic. So definitely go ahead and check them out. And if you guys found this review useful, please go ahead and give us a like below. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.